Alright, how Beyond Scared Straight failed to prevent kids from being criminals. Let's check it out. Guys, if you don't know what this is, it's like a show that I should have grown up with, but I really didn't care about watching. Beyond Scared Straight is a show where, well, I'll just let him explain it. I'm sure he'll explain everything.
Beyond Scared Straight is easily one of the most controversial shows in history. Parents of troubled youth pay for their children to tour the inside of a prison.
Controversial, guys. I did not know it was controversial, though. Guys, I did not know. Did you know that it was considered controversial? Let me know in the comments below.
Or county jail, so they can be exposed to the dark reality of life behind bars.
Hey, bro. Straight up threw those kids in a prison. Or jail, I guess. I don't think they would have the prisoners in a jail. I think most of them would be in the prison, guys. Quite often is the term mixed up or just considered the same thing. They are considered two different things, guys.
When they arrive, they meet with real inmates who strike fear into them with threats, with the goal being to...
Hey, bro. If they had something like this for when I got in trouble, bro, I probably wouldn't be... I've got myself in jail again, bro. Not gonna lie. Now they're like thinking it's cool or something, guys. It's not. It's not fun. It's not cool, guys. They will not give you your phone in jail, guys. They don't have state issued phones.
Prevent today's teenagers from becoming tomorrow's prisoners, but their exposure therapy techniques are definitely questionable.
What is wrong with you, dog? Chill out. You are starting in the wrong way.
This Kool-Aid, we put this on just like you. Lick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid. Just stick it in there.
Oh my gosh, no.
Now take your finger, just do this to the bottom one. Come here.
They're having a grown man. Nah, man, what the heck?
I kiss you, you orange flavor mother.
You ready? You hard, man. You hard. You want to hard? There you go. You want to do? Try me. Try me. Yeah, try me.
Straight up, pick that guy up, bro. Man, they better pay that. They better have paid them enough for this, guys. You know what I mean? They got these grown men disrespecting them, guys. You know, on the streets, this wouldn't happen, guys. On the streets, these grown men would be straight up in jail, guys. This is like one of the only times you'll see the opposite happening, guys. You know what I mean? Out there, it's these people that are this age, the teens and stuff. They'd be bullying adults, bro. We can't do nothing about it, but not on this show.
I want you to try me. I want you to try me. Try.
Now, there's no doubt that the show is entertaining and has given us some pretty hilarious moments over the years. However, our entertainment is at the expense of children's suffering. And the craziest part is, it has been proven on multiple occasions that Scared Straight doesn't work. In fact, it might actually increase their chances of becoming lifelong criminals.
What?
A lot of people don't realize that Scared Straight is not just a television show on A&E. It's a program that has been implemented all over the United States for the past 50 years.
Is it really, guys? I did not know. Yeah.
And the reason it got so popular...
I didn't get in trouble enough to know, guys. The only thing I got caught for was doing substances back then.
...was based on just one...
Actually, I did get caught for something worse, but... That got me like a 5-day suspension, guys.
...alleged successful experiment. Scared Straight was the name of a television documentary released in 1978, produced by Arnold Shapiro. It was critically acclaimed, won an Academy Award, and even won an Emmy.
Dang, this is not nothing. This has been running for a while. It said 1979 right there, fam.
See, they're gonna put lipstick on your lips, earrings in your ear.
Oh my gosh. He's saying the exact same thing he said in that other episode. Wow. Almost the exact same thing, guys.
And now you swishing your ass up and down these tears, hustling cigarettes for your man.
What did I say? What did I say, mother? You here for 2 hours?
No cards no cards when there's announcement time, I guess.
You belong to us for 2 hours.
The film documented youth offenders who visited Rahway State Prison in New Jersey. They met with inmates with the goal of being so scared of going to
Oh, it's a
prison
film, guys?
that they went on to live a
I thought it
straight
was gonna be a regular show.
or crime-free life. The documentary claimed that 80 to 90% of the 8,000 children who visited Rahway's program would go on to remain law-abiding citizens afterwards. The
All right, there you have it, guys. They got the numbers.
popularity and surprisingly positive results led to more than 30 states rapidly implementing the program. No further questions were asked.
Yeah, whoever came up with this made their career like that, guys.
Jails and prisons all over the country saw one documentary and thought they had a solution to all of their youth offender problems. The program's validity was immediately questioned by juvenile
I
delinquency.
know, where's he coming up with this 80-90%, guys? You know what I mean? You gotta, like, first you gotta wait out to see what they do with their lives. That takes a while.
Professionals, but that didn't stop it from becoming popular. The original documentary was followed by Scared Straight, Another Story in 1980, also produced by Arnold Shapiro. This one was just a dramatic film. The subjects were actors who did scripted reenactments of their petty crimes, which led them
So yeah, it seems like he's passionate about his game plan here, guys.
to entering the Scared Straight program, being screamed at, and then feeling reformed after a couple overnights in the prison. Then in 1987, Scared Straight 10 years later aired.
I'll be your host for Scared Straight 10 years later. A fascinating update on what's happened to the kids and the convicts filmed a decade ago.
Yeah, bro, and the convicts, yo. I always like when shows do this, bro. Even like the body cam videos, bro. It really gives you like an insight that you would not have, bro. I think it's one of the best things. If AI could like give us these updates, that'd be amazing.
Go.
What I steal, I need, and I want.
It's embarrassing. 10 years ago.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's been having the come up they're you know, everybody's had a little bit of this, guys. You know, a little bit of defiance growing up. I think most did. Most had an experience like this.
Yeah, I did that. I did that to look
Guys, I probably did the same thing growing up, man.
good. Now the difference is I want to look good, but I like to pay for what I take.
We got to see the original 1978 crew, and they all explained how much the program changed their life for the better. The second half of the documentary introduced a new group of troubled teenagers. After their trip to Rahway,
they're taking the idea and rolling with it, guys. We got a new it's like a reality show, guys. See whose kid does the best or kind of deal or something. Know what I mean?
State Prison, the documentary claimed that all 17 of the youth offenders were crime-free just 3 months after their visit.
Let's go.
Then MTV connected with Shapiro for another sequel, Scared Straight
Shapiro, bro. Reminds me of Ben Shapiro or whatever his name is.
99. This documentary was potentially the most raw and shocking of them all. The prisoners were threatening these kids to levels we had never seen before.
What?
One inmate made a kid hold his pocket as he walked around the cell.
As a matter of fact, hold on to this mother. Hold on to my mother. Right, don't you get killed, mother. And you walk with me, mother.
This was highly regarded as one of the best out of the series, and
Bro, they know to take it to the next level for more press, it seems, guy. Dang.
people still genuinely believe this was an effective form of therapy for youth offenders, which makes sense when you consider the society.
Dude, he's like 5 years old. Look at him, bro. What did he do to get himself there, man?
Societal standard during
He looks
this
5.
time period. Mental health issues that are widely known today had not been vigorously studied. Mental health as a whole wasn't taken as seriously as it is now. Plus, it was a lot more common for parents to use tough
You
love.
should, bro. I grew up quiet. I spent like ever since I was 12, I had really bad mental illness, guys, and I still have it. I'm still overcoming it, guys. I don't think it should be taken unseriously.
Love and physical punishment to discipline their children. These programs were seen as an extremely cheap and convenient solution to a very complex problem that is juvenile delinquency. But where Scared Straight received renowned media attention was when they released their 20 years later special. They claimed that of the 17 original 1978 children, only one of them became a career criminal. The 95% success rate
Bro, they coming up with some big numbers here, bro. They talking a big game.
shocked news publications. Scared Straight was a miracle solution. They used 17 people's stories for 20 years to justify this entire program around
Well, they definitely picked the best ones they could then.
the United States. But the popular A&E series you all know and love didn't come until 2011 and was produced by the same man, Arnold Shapiro. But first, a quick word
A literal career of that's his career.
from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player really, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Underdog keeps
Gambling sponsor will take a sip of my coffee for that, guys.
everything super simple with their intuitive website and their mobile app. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill your Pick'em entry, get every pick
No comment, just taking a sip of this coffee.
right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use code PatrickCC and get your deposit doubled up to $100 by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is available in many states across the US. Check this map to see if you are in one of the eligible states. Again,
Woo!
download the Underdog
Guys,
Fantasy
what do you put in your coffee? Is peanut butter a good thing to put in there? I'm totally gonna do something like that.
app, use code PatrickCC, and get those picks in. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy. So by the time most of us became aware of Scared Straight, it had already been a well-seasoned program all over the United States for 30 plus years. Beyond Scared Straight was a TV show that documented the experiences of
I'm totally adding peanut butter into my coffee, guys. All day.
of troubled children as they embarked on a forced tour of a maximum
Forced tour, guys. We're fighting.
security prison or jail. During the tours, inmates and officers would go to the greatest lengths, screaming, locking them in cells, putting lipstick on them, roughing them up, anything they could do to shock the children and make them terrified of going to prison.
Honestly, growing up and watching this show, I was like, nah, I'm too scared to watch this show. They scared me away from watching it too, dude. They're too hard for me, man.
In hopes that it would steer them clear of a life of crime.
What's up? You like to fight, homie? That's what you like to do, huh? You little bitch. You's a bitch, homie. You's a Pop-Tart. I see right through you, homie.
You better not stop. You better.
You hard, man. You hard. You want to do hard?
You want to do? Try me. Should you snark?
Well, he blurted it out, but he didn't earlier.
He says he don't know. You can't speak up, can you?
Are you snarking?
Why can't you speak up?
Fact, bitch, you hold this. You drop it, I'll smack out of you. I don't give a about going.
This was the most staggering and horrific Scared Straight program we had ever seen, and people loved it. The show's premiere alone attracted
That's a camera like that. Okay, did not expect Patrick CC to be there.
a staggering 3.7 million viewers, making it the most watched original series debut in the network's history. The
Sheesh.
undeniable success of Beyond Scared Straight led them to producing 83 episodes across 9 seasons.
Dang, bro. Well, it took a while to perfect how it should be done, right, guys? You know what I mean? Many years, very like a whole lifetime, a whole career,
Spanning from
and
2011
then he just gets it right one day, guys. Okay.
until 2015. But the most eye-opening realization about this show is that the Scared Straight program was proven by the federal government not to work.
What?
Since the release of the original film, many justice institutions and criminal prevention professionals have thoroughly studied the effects of the program to determine if it actually works. Surprisingly, numerous studies have shown that the Scared Straight
Because it doesn't even work.
method can actually do more harm than good. The most significant study was conducted by the US Department of Justice after the release of the original film. They examined the outcomes of 9 controlled trials conducted from 1967 to 1992. This involved over 900 children with the average age of 15 to 17 who participated in Scared Straight-like programs in 8 different states. Also, each study was conducted by
But it's not the same. It's not the same, guys. It's not the same as his program, guys. You know what I mean? A little bit of a discrepancy in that little study here.
a different research team. Every one of these studies also had a control group that did not attend a Scared Straight program. So they were comparing youth offenders who went to Scared Straight versus youth offenders who didn't attend one, and measured their likeliness to become a reoffender. The study found no evidence to support the effectiveness of Scared Straight in similar programs. In fact, all analysis showed that involvement in these programs increased measures of crime and delinquency.
What? Well, where did we get the other things?
Every one of the 9 studies, the group who went to
It's not the studies the other guy's coming up with.
Scared Straight had a higher rate of reoffense than the group who didn't go. After this comprehensive study was published, many others were
We're having multiple studies coming up with conflicting information here.
with different test subjects, different age groups, and different crimes. Many of the studies would produce very similar results. In 1997, University of Maryland researchers completed a report for Congress on the evidence for various crime prevention strategies. The researchers had no problem listing Scared Straight as one of the programs that doesn't work. To make things worse, these programs could potentially violate federal law. In 2002, which was 9 years
Looks like
before
he's in a little bit of hot water now.
the first A&E episode aired, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention in Washington informed all states that Scared Straight programs or similar programs may violate the separation requirement of the JJDP Act. According to the act,
Snap, some lawyer found this or something, bro. Like, he was looking through the fine print. He's like, oh, snap, I found a breakthrough or something.
mandatory that juvenile offenders and non-offenders should not be detained or confined in any institution where they may have sight or sound contact with adult offenders. In short, it's illegal to have kids in jail with adults, which makes this clip even harder to watch.
A terrified 9-year-old boy dangled like a raw piece of meat in front of
They're so mean.
a pack of prisoners.
Oh my gosh, bro.
His crime, stealing
He's 9.
change from his mom and lying.
I think
still pocket change.
We can all agree that
I actually did that growing up. I'm sorry. Don't do that to me.
To this degree for stealing pocket change is insane. Then filming it, editing it, and putting it out into the world is next level. One time they even showed these children a body and described to them what their parents would experience if they go to jail and die while on the inside. These programs typically break these children down.
That's doing the most, man.
Start crying, are mortified, and just want to go home. But the sad part is, their home life is probably rough as well. On the surface, the concept behind these Scared Straight programs makes sense. Troubled kids are so afraid of prison that they change their ways to avoid such a dark future. However, there are multiple examples that say otherwise. Toby Keith Johnson was first featured on the show on season 3, episode 13. He was quiet and didn't show any
Alright, now we're getting into like the actual published cases here, guys, so we're at the good part now.
The guards.
Not the good part though. Honestly, I don't. But we're at the interesting part, I guess you can say. Even though we don't really want to see like these kids go through a bad life. Even though I probably had like a similar story. If I was on this, they could probably put my story on there just because it was so bad.
Tried to break him down and make him feel bad about his choices, but he didn't budge. At the end, when the parents reunite with the children, Toby's mother didn't show up. 8 months later, Toby was featured on the show again. This time, he was an inmate. He was incarcerated for allegations of assaulting his mom. He got out 2 years later on parole, but sadly, continued a life of crime. He was arrested multiple times on meth and gun charges, but the most recent one was the worst of them all. In August of 2020, he was arrested for imprisoning a 25-year-old woman and making threats of harm, with Johnson forcefully grabbing the victim by the throat, choking her, and violently throwing her to the ground.
Damn, bro.
The aggression continued with it, even going as far as Toby threatening her with a knife. Law enforcement would report visible signs.
This is when he's 25 years old, guys.
Of bruising on the victim's neck. I think it's pretty obvious that Scared Straight had no positive effect on Toby whatsoever.
If anything, it encouraged him, it looks like.
Franklin Morris made his premiere on A&E in 2012. At the
Gambling at 14 years old.
Time of filming, he was living in Baltimore with his mother, Dana. In an emotional episode, Dana revealed the extent of Franklin's school suspensions, stating that she couldn't even begin to give a precise number. Franklin himself shared a nonchalant attitude towards his mother's concern, saying,
My mother says I'm either going to end up dead or in jail. I really don't pay no mind.
At the young age of 14, Franklin participated in the program, already having convictions for gambling and vandalism. One of the incidents that landed Franklin a spot on the show saw
He's on that track, it seems.
Franklin and his friends wreak havoc in a store, knocking items off the shelves and vandalizing a local shop. Years after his time on the show, Franklin Morris became one of 3 teenagers who met a grim fate near a playground in North Baltimore.
What?
Alongside a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, Franklin was found shot in the head and pronounced dead at the scene.
What I thought about going to the jail was it really was no big deal. The reset program, it didn't change me. It really don't feel no different.
Since the majority of the show's participants were children at the time, it's hard to find the long-term results of their lives. However, based on what I found, it seems like a lot of them went on to live regular lives. If you search what happened to so-and-so...
Hey bro, if you like Googled me, and it was like 5 years after I went on the show, or like 8 years, I wouldn't be the best, but if you Google me like double the time, it will look a lot better.
From Beyond Scared Straight, most of what you find is clickbait leading you to an Instagram page of someone who we can't confirm was actually on the show. So if the program has been proven to be ineffective through various extensive studies across the past 30 years, why did they do a show about it? Well, that's because the guy who has built his entire career from this program, Arnold Shapiro, is fully convinced that this program is a good thing. Shapiro says that all the extensive studies are totally irrelevant because they were done
of course he's gonna believe that, you know? It's his business to do so.
From 1967 to 1999. He also said that only the academic community believes proper counseling for youth offenders works. If society had the money or resources to do that, that would be great if every kid could have years of counseling, but it's not realistic. It would be interesting if A&E used the millions of profits from the show to get these youth offenders counseling, since society doesn't have the money, right?
Yeah, but they have families they gotta take care of.
Shapiro shrugs off the criticism of Scared Straight. There's every variation. It works for some, it doesn't work for some. But you can say that about any program that exists.
True.
Shapiro thinks that as long as it works for some, then it justifies the program. And since the program exists, he is happy profiting off of it. He has openly admitted that the children they decide to be on the show are not the ones that they think will change, but rather the ones with the best personality. It really is based on their personalities and what happens with them. We didn't have any belief that Brandon T. from Michigan, who stood up to the officers and just kind of had a meltdown, would ever change. Even when the tour was over, he got thrown out, but we still picked him because it was so explosive, and we never saw anything like that before or since. Although other kids have stood up to officers, it's amazing. When I went through high school or even college, you never thought you would disrespect a teacher or an authority figure, especially somebody in law enforcement. But these kids have no fear. It's crucial to question whether the pursuit of profits overshadows moral principles, as corporate interests often prioritize ratings and financial gain over the well-being of humans. But it makes it even worse when you consider that the people they are affecting are not consenting adults. These are children, and it's being broadcasted to millions of people to watch them suffer. They are being told that this is genuine rehabilitation, and they don't really have a choice to participate. Occasionally, they rebel so much that they get kicked out of the jail, but most of the time, they are trapped with no escape. The truth is,
yeah, I would have did that growing up.
Everyone
wants how much they paid him.
It's a quick and cheap solution to an extremely complex. It's all good.
Alright guys, that's a video. Like, comment, subscribe, press that join button. Check out Patrick's CC in the description. It's about Toby's awful. Yeah, that's true. See you guys next one. Peace out. Yeah. New Sunny V2 video. Alright guys, see you in the next one.